Hey guys, it's Predaking79 here with a review of let me clear my throat, of Generation 1 Powermaster Slapdash and his Neblian companion, aka his engine component, with the rather dubious name of Lube. First things first, you should hopefully notice a bit better picture quality. I've changed my camera setup, so hopefully this looks a little bit better than normal, and it's a bit of a gloomy old day. The lighting's not fantastic in this room. In fact, I may try and move it to another location in the room next time I record, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Anyway, a new setup. That is the main thing. So, we've got Slapdash, obviously released in 1988, one of the original Autobot Powermasters. Turned into a rather nice F1 style car. Came out along with Joyride and Getaway, and of course Powermaster Optimus Prime as the Autobot Powermasters. He, apart from Prime, who I reviewed a good couple of years ago, this is the only Autobot Powermaster that I own. I had one of these guys for a while, missing loads of parts. Now, this guy comes with a crap ton of different parts, and I'll show you those in a minute. Because of that, he can be a bit of a pain in the arse to get complete. And I've been meaning to get the missing parts for ages, until on eBay about a couple of weeks ago, one of these guys popped up complete, buy it now for 30 quid, and it was actually cheaper for me to buy a completely new figure than buy the 2 bits, or 3 bits actually, that I needed. So I just went ahead and bought him, and got rid of the old one who was a bit more beaten up than this one. Anyway, so let's have a look at the figure. Obviously we've got Lube. I do love that name. You'd never get a Transformer called Lube now, which is brilliant. Yeah, articulation on these guys, the Powermaster Neblians, is nothing compared to the Headmaster guys. All they have is the hand arms, which this guy's really, really stiff, and I'm a little bit worried to move them. In fact, they might possibly be glued in place, so I'm not going to move them. The legs don't articulate really, apart from the transformation articulation, which is basically going around like so, and then it becomes the engine. Nice bit of chrome on the front. These pegs sort of pop in there, and the holes like that, and that is engine mode. The Powermaster engines, you know, they're not as good as the Headmasters and Target Masters. I mean, I obviously prefer the Headmasters because, as I've said for many times before, they've got more of a play value, and they've got more articulation, etc. And the Target Masters turn into guns, so what's not to like? These guys, I don't dislike them, but they don't really, they just don't do a lot. They're just an engine. Nice chrome though, they all had chrome on them. Well, the majority of them had chrome on them. Anyway, so, Lube, the engine. Right, so, here we have Slapdash himself. I'll show you the bits and pieces that he comes with. Obviously, plastic tyres, rubber tyres were long gone by 1988. And he's a nice little alt mode. Obviously, he's got a gun on the top, which is a little bit crazy. You can take that off. And what have we got accessories-wise? Well, they're not really accessories so much as parts. He's a bit of a parts formula, this guy. And we take off the engine block. Now, this is where you'd put Lube in if you wanted to. Whoops, let's put him the right way round, that would help. He kind of just sits in here, and this guy doesn't sit fantastically well on mine. In fact, I may not even be able to get him to sit at all. Let's just have a little fiddle around, hold on. Oh, there we are, that's a bit better. Okay, so it kind of fits on there like that. Not the best fit, but that's how it goes. Now obviously he's got an engine block. You can't have both in place, which is a bit of an odd thing, because none of the other Powermasters, to my knowledge, had parts that could cover where the Neblian was. So you can have him take out here, and you can kind of give him a crazy kind of driving around mode, like so. check it out, which I think is quite cool. Clearly that's not meant to do that, but I think it looks really funny and quite cool. So, so you can have them both displayed at the same time, which is nice. But anyway, bye-bye engine block, bye-bye rear spoiler. Of course, both of these are parts, and if you get them separately, they can be quite pricey. And then we've got the basic vehicle himself. So let's go ahead and transform him. Let's go and move the front spoiler first. I think that's the best way to do it. No, actually, I'm going to do it completely differently. Now, with with the Powermasters, there's always a little peg that you have to press to release their power transformation cog thing, whatever it is. But basically, to release the transformation, you have to press the button. So you press the button, and then you've got a little head reveal. And this is like a crazy transformation for a G1 figure. Arms come round, so it's probably completely the wrong way of doing it, but I haven't got the instructions, so who's to say? See that? Okay, arms have popped up like that, and then this bit always feels a bit dubious, but you pop the grille in front of the car open. That's it, and then this comes down. And you bend that down like that. Alright, that's what I was doing wrong. And then you just put the body up. And there we go. I think that's a really cool transformation for a figure of this age. You know, it's very unique, I think, for this kind of era. So let's go put the bits back on him. Engine block goes on the front, or you could put lube in there, but as we've seen, my lube doesn't stay in place fantastically well. Okay, I just realised he's a bit close to the camera, but I can't bother to fiddle the camera around, so I'll just move him back. The rear spoiler fits on his back like that, and obviously his gun goes in his hand. And there we go. So yeah, you could have lube in his chest piece instead of the engine grill if you want. I actually prefer. There we go. I actually prefer the engine block in place. I just think it looks better. But either is absolutely fine. Oops, cover up the lens. That's very helpful. So yeah, there we go. We've got robot mode. He's a cool robot mode. He's quite short. He's quite squat. But I do love the fact that you've got the wheels on the top there, which it's kind of gives them a very cool sort of unique look. And there's not many. I think of any bots actually that have got that sort of look with the wheels on the shoulders pointing upwards. It does look cool. So lots of accessories. We've got engine block and the rear spoiler, and of course lube and his gun, but also this front spoiler. As I was transforming it, you saw as I was a little bit careful the way I was doing it. This is quite susceptible of coming off. If it does come off, it's not the end of the world. You can pop it back in, but a lot of loose slapdashes will be missing this, and as a result, these are sold quite often as parts. Officially not a part because it shouldn't come off. It's a bit like Hardhead's shoulder gun. It's not supposed to come off, but it does, and therefore people sell them individually. So you've got 5 accessories for a figure this, 5 parts for a figure this size, and therefore to parts build this guy, it's stupidly expensive, because lube on his own, looking at about 15 quid. The engine block, the front and rear spoilers, each of those about £7 each probably, and the gun again, you're looking about that sort of price. So to get him, you've got to get this guy complete really. I know from personal experience, as I said at the start of the video, how much of a pain in the arse it is to try and buy the parts you're after if you pick one up with a few bits and is missing a few. So try and get him loose complete if you can. I mean, price wise, I say I got this for 30 quid, but that is way cheaper than you would normally expect to pay for this guy. You'd normally, because of the number of parts, you're looking at around about £45 to £50 for a really nice example. And this guy's nice. I mean, he's got some minor rust issues, but nothing particularly major. So I was really happy with that price. And as I say, I recouped quite a lot of it by selling my own Slapdash, which just had the gun and lube myself. So I was more than happy with that. So yeah, things to watch out for. There isn't really just to make sure that if you can get one with the front spoiler. But I'd say if I were you, I'd get one individually. But there's nothing really too sort of dramatic to worry about, other than perhaps with lube, get one that's got the arms intact, because they're likely to pop off. As I say, I'm not sure if those are glued in place or not, because they're so stiff, and I don't want to force it because I know how much these things break. But anyway, so yeah, quick review of Slapdash. Definitely one to get out. Definitely one to get. And I do want to get Joyride and Getaway at some point, if I can. And that will go nicely with Double Dealer and Powermaster Prime, who I have already. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video. I hope the picture quality is a bit better than what I've used to. I'll probably upload this in a higher frame rate as well, as the quality of the image is a bit better. This means I should probably be able to do videos a bit more frequently, because it saves me faffing around with my old camera, which has served me well, and served me well since I started YouTube back in 2008. But it's time to get something a bit more up to date. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time, guys. Thanks for checking out the video. Bye bye.